Hello everybody, Mark here over at 100% Pure Elvis. Thank you for taking the time out to return to my Elvis channel today. And if you are new to the 100% Pure Elvis channel, welcome aboard and thank you for joining. Today I've got 8 books to share with you from my Elvis Presley collection, because recently I've had some of my subscribers ask, can I share some of my books from my Elvis collection? And again, most of the books that I'm just about to share with you, I have done individual reviews on. So please return to my channel, 100% Pure Elvis, to find out more about these books individually. The 8 books that I have chosen to share with you today are from people that were either in Elvis's inner circle or were in a relationship with Elvis. And I'm going to give a quick interpretation of how I felt each book came across in my eyes. The first one is a book that is very hard to find. Memphis Mafia Princess, Living in the Elvis World by Shirley Diu. Again, the book itself, it's an okay book. It's an enjoyable book. And again, I think Shirley gives a beautiful account of her time knowing Elvis. I just wish the book would have had more information inside, but she met Elvis in the 1970s. But again, she was on the last vacation also in Hawaii. But an enjoyable book and well written, but a book that's very hard to find. I just wish Shirley gave more about Elvis in the book itself. The next book, Elvis and Ginger by Ginger Alden. This is the first edition hardback. Very hard to get a hold of. Now, again, I've done a separate review on this book. Not a favourite book of mine. Reasons behind it, I don't think it's well written by Ginger. I think parts of it is sensationalized. I know it's Ginger's interpretation of her life with Elvis, but I think parts of the book is quite sensationalized, and you can see Ginger is using the shock tactics in the book. And unfortunately, we haven't got Elvis around anymore to speak for himself. But a book that, when I finished reading it, I felt very angry at the fact that Elvis wasn't around to answer for himself. And Ginger did not come across that well in this book, I feel, whatsoever at all. So again, but that is Ginger's interpretation of her life with Elvis. Again, I'm not going to dispute what she says in the book, because again, I don't know, I wasn't there, but I just think the book's not well written and quite sensationalized. Elvis and Ginger by Ginger Alden. The next book is the earliest one in my collection, and what a beautiful book it is. Good Rockin' Tonight by Joe Esposito. Now, I have probably read this book around 10 times since I've owned this book. Very well written by Joe. You can see he absolutely loved Elvis, loved everything about the man, his best friend. Joe never said a bad word against Elvis. And that is what being a good friend is all about. A book that is very well written, very well researched, and you just know what Joe is saying in this book is true. So again, one of my favorite books, Good Rockin' Tonight by Joe Esposito. The next book, Elvis Safe and Sound by Dick Grobb. I've had the pleasure of meeting Dick Grobb at the Strictly Elvis Festival many years ago, and such a humble guy, and he gave a beautiful account of his time with Elvis, being his bodyguard, and he's talking to us about the scrapes that he would get in with some of the fans, and Elvis's humour, about Elvis's moods, And but again, the book itself is very well written, and it's a the, do you know when you're reading a book and it's just a nice read, you just read through it, and Dick comes across great in this book. You can see his love for Alvis and his love for being in the inner circle. He wanted the best for Alvis, and you can also read that he just loved Alvis. He loved the man and what he stood for. So another great read, in my personal opinion. Alvis Safe and Sound. This book is available from Strictly Alvis UK. So Google Strictly Alvis. It will take you to their page, and this book is on there ready to be purchased if you are interested. So a good read. The next book, Alvis Still Taking Care of Business by Sunny West. This is the first edition. And again, it's a book that I struggled with. Again, what I mean by struggle, it's a good read. In parts, I think Sunny's losing his way, especially towards the end of the book, where you can see that there's a bit of a problem when Sunny is sacked. But no, it's a book that it's a good read, but in parts it's a bit of a struggle. And again, I would say it could have been written better. But again, I really enjoyed reading about his time with Alvis in the early years, going up to the 70s and towards the end, where he left the Memphis Mafia. But again, you can see his love for Alvis in this book. Again, he wanted to help Alvis, but as he's saying, Alvis did not accept help. So, sorry, Alvis Still Taking Care of Business by Sunny West. This is still available in paperback. This is the hardback. Hard to find the hardback first edition, but eBay, always try eBay Book Depository. The next book is a beautiful read. Again, a favourite of mine. Me and a Guy Named Alvis by Jerry Schilling. Again, this is the hardback first edition. And again, this is a page turner where you go from chapter to chapter to chapter. It's a book that I could not stop reading when I first purchased this book. I've read this book about 3 times. And again, Jerry, his love for Alvis just comes through the pages, and he adored Alvis and wanted what was best for Alvis. And he does not say any negative things about Alvis whatsoever in the book. And I think people might say, well, that's not a true reflection of what Alvis was about. What I mean by that is Jerry does say that obviously on the tour there was women, and Alvis had the choice of women. But what I mean by he doesn't go out of his way to damage Alvis's reputation, and it's not a sensationalism book. It's not. There's nothing in this book that's negative about Alvis. So again, I love this book. Such a great read by Jerry Schilling. Me and a Guy Named Alvis. Great read. Get this added to your collection if you don't have it already. The next book I purchased a couple of years ago from a charity shop. And this book, again, is actually quite rare to get a hold of. Alvis in the Twilight of Memory by June Junico. And I love the front cover here, all them different images of June with Alvis. And it's paperback. But again, this book is now a rare book to get a hold of. When I started reading this book, again, it flows really well. It's a page turner. The relationship she had with Alvis, you can see her love for Alvis. You know, she absolutely adored the man, and you can see Alvis adored her back. And again, it is a book that I've only read it once, but it's a book I will return to. I will have another read of it at some point. But yeah, I thoroughly enjoyed reading this book, because you can get some books on Alvis from his ex-girlfriends or people who he was in relationships with, and it doesn't come across that well. And but June's book is beautifully written, and her love for Alvis is, you can just, it just comes through the pages. So again, if you get the opportunity to purchase this book, please add it to your collection. It's a great read. Alvis in the Twilight of Memory. So again, them 8 books that I've just shared with you, sorry, 7 books. 1, 2, 3, 7 books I've just shared with you. They are a small collection of my Alvis book collection, and I always try and give true and honest reviews of what I think of that book. And again, I always try not to say negative things about any books in particular, because especially books where they were in a relationship with Alvis or worked for Alvis, if they feel that's their true interpretation of their time with Alvis, then okay, write about it, but then don't expect no negative comeback or positive comeback, because for me, you know, you're gonna get that. And I think out of all the books that I have just shared, the one that I don't think is well written is Ginger's book. I don't think that book's well written at all. Sonny West, his book, again, I enjoy it, but I struggled in some parts of it. Shirley Dew's book, again, I just wish there was more on Alvis in that book. But again, I hope you enjoyed them books that I have just shared with you. If you would like to know more about any of them individual books, please ask in the comments below, or please return to my channel, and you will find specific individual reviews for them books, and please check them out. And I will speak to you all soon. And as I always sign out by saying, please keep Alvis close to your hearts. Please keep on playing his music. That's most important to me. And love to you all, and I'll speak soon, everybody. Bye-bye.